it was just huge, and the whole sign was like stood on the heaven like for a half of an hour, and I never saw something like this before. The whole sign that I saw, immediately there was this rainbow circle that surrounded the sun, even as the scriptures say that there is a circle rainbow all around of the throne of God, and the sun was in its midst, and I felt like, whoa, it's very like the Son of God, the shining in his glory and sitting on his throne, and this circle rainbow all around him. And there was this other circle, a white circle made from a cloud, but a straight line that joined this first rainbow circle like an engagement rings, and the two rings were joined together. And so I really felt it's like a sign of the joining together of the bridegroom and his bride, and they are connected in this new covenant.
And from which spot did you see it?
The Mount of Olives.
The Mount of Olives. What is the Mount of Olives? Claude, you saw it from the Mountain of Olives.
Yeah, that's right.
What is so important about the Mountain of Olives?
The Mount of Olives, and especially the very place that I've been, it's really the place where Yeshua went up to heaven in the front of his disciples, and the place where he said that he will come back and put his feet on the Mount of Olives. So what I think the specific thing about seeing this sign just over the Mount of Olives, from the Mount of Olives, it's really a promise that he said, I am coming soon, you know, and it's like a call at his bride to prepare herself and to engage herself in a deeper way, to connect and to join herself in a deeper way with the bridegroom. And because he's coming soon in this very place on the Mount of Olives. He will come.
No, partly through our I think that before Messiah will be coming, we must arrange a place for him. We must ascend himself in degree that is enough for our in order we can take Messiah and
that we can receive him.
Receive him, then. And what I see, what my activity, I see as a tool for receiving.
His aim was to come up with a brand new theory that would combine gravity, the strength holding whole solar systems together, with electromagnetism, a force binding one atom to another.
He don't interested in some proof from from point of today's science, for example. No, I understood. I agree that today's science actually is very far from spiritual soul matters. Then, but if something have two meanings, for example, religious meaning and scientific meaning, it is very rare phenomenon. Agree? Yes. But if these two lines intersect in some point, then we can await that this point will be from higher realm. Because as religion, so science was originated from God, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Then the point of intersection is now realm of religion, realm science is very far one from another, yes?
Mm-hmm.
They cannot have anything in common. But if I find not very much, but some point where, for example, Christianity and science can intersect. And my hypothesis is that the point of intersection is from the realm of God.
I felt it's the explanation for the rainbow. It's God's covenant with us, with His people, with Israel, God's covenant. And also there's in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, it's also beneath God's throne there's also rainbow. So I felt it's the meaning of the rainbows. It's the picture for God, for Yeshua, and then the white ring, the circle, representing His bride, and like the calling of His bride, His people, that He's making perfectly round, and He's coming for a pure, spotless bride. And so I felt like it's preparing for the wedding supper of the Lamb. So the two rings, like representing the picture of the bride, of the marriage.
The marriage supper of the
Yeah.
Lamb.
Gethsemane is on the very bottom and the feet of the Mount of Olives. Gethsemane, as I know, means olive press. So it's the place where Yeshua was crushed, and this oil came out of Him. But it's the place where He went to a deep struggle, and he was fighting with the spirit of death. But there was an angel that came down and strengthened him so he could overcome death, and he could overcome the fear, and he could submit totally to the Father and say, Father, I'm willing to drink the cup, even I don't want to drink it, but if there is no other way, Father, your will shall be done. It was the Mount of Olives where Yeshua went up to heaven, even in the front of all His disciples, and it was the place where this angel, they told the disciples that they shouldn't be afraid, because Yeshua would come back on the same place, even as we read in Zechariah 14, that He will put His feet on the Mount of Olives and He will come back into this place. Even as I saw this sign appearing in heaven, it was really God speaking about His return that will be soon.